What's going on, world? Steve Dab 317 back with another reaction video. And before I jump into talking about the reaction video directly, I literally just learned something about myself. So if you notice how like I started off when I watched and done a reaction to a few of Tom MacDonald's present or newer videos, and then I went back to the beginning. I think subconsciously that all ties back into my love for Star Wars. So like how episode 4, 5, and 6 was released and it went back to show the beginning. I'm kind of taking the same trajectory, and then also I've learned through the comments through you all that there's a few videos that aren't listed on this channel right now that I have to go find that are kind of the prequel to a lot that's going on now, kind of like how we anyway. So I digress, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump right into it. If you haven't already done so, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. I've got more reaction videos coming your way today. Tom MacDonald, If I Change. Let's get it.
If I change from it, y'all gonna stick around. If I change from it, y'all still hold me down. If the money get me tripping, will you be there when I'm winning? Or you finished and you gonna bounce? Yeah. So you cool with me now. Yeah. But if I change from it, yeah. Will you hit me when the shit change? I know people switch it up. And you know I do my best for you. Sometimes that just isn't good enough. I've been on your television acting like I don't know you. And you probably pissed off since you feel like I owe you. But I did it on my own, man, it's just like I told you. My shit about to pop like I shook up the soda. Tell me what the fuck you think I'm doing so different. Got a couple tattoos, but the mood is consistent. I've been shooting for the stars, now the moon ain't so distant. And I've been in and out the city, aka you with a visit. Don't be mad, don't be mad, don't be mad about the way. I'm trying to get away from it. We've been cool from the jump all day. But if I change from it, yeah. If I change from it, y'all gonna stick around.
All right, so let's break down that first verse. What he's dropped so far. If I change from it, are y'all gonna stick around? It's really interesting because you get to the point where you start making changes in lives, and one of the things that happens is like people who you initially associated with, especially, and this is especially true when you make a change for the positive, meaning you getting rid of some habits maybe you used to have. A lot of times people who were in those circles, they feel like, oh, well, you're changing, you're different, and they get to the point where they just kind of distance themselves from you, which is unfortunate reality, more often than not, I think. Even as I was making my own transition from things I used to do to where I am now, I had people, saying Steve Dab, he's acting fake or acting funny or he's different now, or not just, I've got something else to live for and different life goals. So, those who respect it, shout out to you. They still around. We still chop it up. Those who didn't, no love, not lost. But, it's one of those you live and you learn.
If I change from it, will y'all still hold me down? If the money get me tripping, will you be there when I'm winning? Or you finished and you gonna bounce? You know you cool with me now. Yeah. But if I change from it, yeah. Will you ride when the road bang?
And I'm going to stop it one more time before we jump into this next verse, but also something else he's touching bases on. Like, it's like, you know, I've said this before, but a lot of times people say money will never change me, and my response to that is you just haven't had enough money yet. Things do become different. And people don't always necessarily make the right decisions as their positions change in life, but it's about learning. Learning ourselves, learning people around us, learning there's better ways of doing things, learning some things we shouldn't do. So just wanted to add that a little bit. I'm gonna run it back 10 seconds and jump right into the second verse.
I know you finished and you gonna bounce. You know you cool with me now. Yeah. But if I change from it, yeah. Will you ride when the road bang? I know people getting jealous. They've been talking hella bad about us. And I've been trying to protect it. I know that all the rumors ain't about to slow down. They got ammunition loaded up in my hometown. They got shooters in the city holding on to the rounds. No serial numbers, so they will never be found. But tell me what the fuck you think I'm worried about. Touchdown in the city, I don't hurry out. I will judge you when they call the execution, it'll kill you, I ain't even good.
You know what I truly enjoy about going as far back as I have in this journey, and I don't know if other reactors do the same thing as well, but like every video that I watch, it's like it's painting a portion of a massive portrait. You know, it's painting just a small portion of it, but it reveals a little bit more and a little bit more. And I'm still to the point where I don't see the full picture. So you may find some stuff that I ask or some things that I may say may not be 100% accurate, but it's part of the learning process. And as I identify those things myself, I'll go back and correct them as I learn more. But just kind of watching his journey, and it seems like at this stage he was starting to realize I have to do something different to get a house with a pool on a roof. I have to do something different to get the garage I have to do something different to get what I want out of life. So it seems like even at this point, although I'm assuming still maybe had some demons he was fighting, he was getting to the point where he was realizing if I want something different out of life, I've got to do something different. So this to me looks like it was the beginning stages of that transformation that I learned a bit about when I first started reacting to his videos.
If I change from it, y'all gonna stick around. If I change from it, will y'all still hold me down? If the money get me tripping, will you be there while I'm winning? Know you finished, then you gonna bounce. Know you cool with me now. But if I change from it, yeah.
All right, so my initial thought of the two things that just happened, um, one with the first form of execution, to me that was like, and then also with a small kiss on the forehead, it's like there's still things that we may like truly enjoy doing, or maybe feel like we love in our life, but some things or individuals we have to part ways with. I've got people who are, I mean, like close, always been as close to me, but some of the things they're involved with, I can't rock with them like that anymore. You know what I mean? It's just too dangerous. I got a family now, and I'm trying to make it places in life. And then with the second part, uh, what I took from that, especially with her having her back turned, I took that as representing that, like, as he said in this at the beginning of this, like, if I change, you still gonna be there, or you gonna disappear on me. Like, I felt that as represent even the people who are turning their backs on him as he's making these progressions. Like, to me, that's like saying, you're dead to me. You turn your back on me. That you do what you do, but you're dead to me. You know, that's what I got out of that. But we'll see. Maybe more is revealed in this video. I've got another like 3 minutes of it, so let's check it out.
You know what the funny thing about faith is? It's got a lot of common with bullets. They both keep us alive. They both kill people. The main difference between faith and bullets, though, it's easier to run out of bullets than it is faith. A man can run out of faith, though. People tell me that they lose faith in things all the time, which I never really understood, but the way I see it, maybe it's not that a man loses faith. Maybe faith loses him. Maybe faith is like the sun shining down into a field on a hot summer day. If you walk into the forest, the sunlight doesn't shine down on you as often. It shines down on you, but only in the places where the trees let it through. The further you wander into those woods, the darker it gets.
Hmm.
Eventually.
That is a super dope analogy. Like, I'm I've got to go way back, like right when he started doing his voiceover and speaking. Uh, yeah.
The man camera, they both killed people. You know what the funny thing about faith is? It's got a lot in common with bullets. They both keep us alive. They both kill people. The main difference between faith and bullets, though, it's easier to run out of bullets than it is faith.
Never
The
thought
man
about it that
camera and
way.
the faith, though. People tell me that they lose faith in things all the time. Which I never really understood, but the way I see it, maybe it's not that a man loses faith. Maybe faith loses him. Maybe faith is like the sun shining down into a field on a hot summer day. If you walk into the forest, the sunlight doesn't shine down on you as often. It shines down on you, but only in the places where the trees let it through. The further you wander into those woods, the darker it gets. Eventually, it's so deep into the goddamn bush that the sun don't shine through anymore. You know what they say, though? Halfway is as far as you can walk into the woods. The other half you're walking out. Maybe that means that there's hope on the other side. Maybe faith is waiting to shine down on you when you come on the other end. What worries me is when you reach that other end, will God have already passed judgment for what happened in the dark times? I don't know. That reminds me of something though. You know what my favorite part of the Bible is? It's from the King James Version. James 5:16. Confess your faults to one another. Pray for one another, that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. You know what that means?
I like
That
that.
means all your shit can be swept away, just like the dirt on the hood of my truck. That's why I like it so much.
This is hard. And then the entire video reverses. I'm going to make a bold, bold, bold statement. Of all of the Tom MacDonald videos that I've watched thus far, this is hands down my favorite. This, like, taking nothing against any of the other videos, all the ones that I've said before in reaction in my prior videos that I really enjoy and I like that, like none. I'm not taking any of that away. I still feel that way about all those other videos, but this right here, damn man, it like this video is dope on a different level. Like even just pulling away from rapping and flowing and making everything sound smooth and rhyming. Just excuse me, just pulling away for a moment just to talk to the individuals, talk to the camera, talk to me, talk to you. Like this went from a music video, that was great, sounded great. You're looking at it, you're following the path of what's going on, and I'm analyzing what's going on the best of my abilities. And then all of a sudden, it transitions from a video, it transitions from a music video to a video about or spoken word about life, I should say. It was almost like it wasn't even a video. It was at the point where I got to a point where it's almost like you're in a funnel or in a tunnel, and like you and Tom are speaking directly, and he's just like, "Hey, these are things that you got to remember about life. These are things you got to remember about faith." Now, the reason why this hits home for me is when he talks about running out of faith, and on my channel, one of the things I mentioned is how uh, I am. I'm a very much an open book. I try not to do any edits to my video, and I try to do most things in full disclosure that aren't incriminating, at least. But for me, I'm an individual who grew up in a uh, God-fearing household, and over the years, I went from there to uh, most closely identifying with atheism, but that was really that was like the darkest point in the forest for my life, and I did a lot of things I can't undo. I've like I said before, man, I've put in a lot of work. People look and they watch these YouTube videos and they see me constantly smiling, and like on the outside it's good to display that, but like on the inside I still have to deal with a lot, and I've asked for forgiveness for things, but like my life is still my life. Oh, yes it is, but neither here nor there. But like I went from most closely identifying with atheism, and based off where I was in my life, I felt that to be correct. And then at some point, like you said, you can only go halfway into the forest, and then you're headed out the other end. At some point, I most closely identified with being agnostic, because there was just a lot of unknown. I had this which I grew up on. I had this which I learned elsewhere. I'm reading, I'm studying, I'm looking into it, and that's kind of why on my channel I say like I've got much more respect for people who actually go on a journey and settle wherever they end up. Whether they're a believer, unbeliever, or wherever they end up, but actually go through the process of that journey and learn what becomes your truth. But anyways, fast forward, I've gotten to the point where through my life experiences and some of the things that I've survived through, like, when I got accounts of things that honestly I feel like if I shared them with y'all, I'm certain YouTube would probably ban my entire channel. And it's not that I'm opposed to sharing those. It's just I want to be mindful. Maybe I need to get one of those like Patreon accounts or something so I can kind of delve into that. I don't know. But basically, and it kind of landed me to where I am now, which I am a believer, but it's not because I don't feel it's because of the way I was brought up as a young child. I feel like it's a result of my life experiences and my own studying and research where it's landed me. So like that's probably why this has become my favorite video of all that I've reacted to of his so far, is because I felt like he literally just stopped recording and just sat, looked at the camera, and just talked to me like face to face. So, anyways, wow, I'm even more excited about this journey than I was before. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one. Steve Dab 317. If you're still here, I appreciate you. And I got more coming your way.